Hello and welcome. This week at Clean Coasts, we are talking about citizen science and all the different ways that you can get involved with citizen science. So today I'm going to talk about citizen science online and the ways you can get involved. But to get started, I'm going to talk a little bit first about what is citizen science. So citizen science is really ways that the public can get involved with science projects. You don't have to be a trained scientist, although it may involve training. And it's about different ways that you can get involved with maybe gathering data or sorting data and helping scientists to find out more about their work. Citizen science is often used if there's a large amount of data that needs to be gathered, or if there's a large amount of data that needs to be sorted. So for example, gathering biodiversity data, often large amounts of people, volunteers around the country and around the world will collect data about different types of species they find, maybe just in their garden or at the shore nearby or anywhere nearby. And they can log this data in different ways. You might be able to get an app to download to log your data, or you might be able to send in surveys to a place that's collecting them. So for example, the National Biodiversity Data Centre collects information all about species around Ireland and they collect that data. Also, you might want to help with sorting data. So for example, you might help with looking for patterns or shapes. It could be from telescopes that are taking pictures from outer space. And you might wonder, why wouldn't you just get a computer to sort that? But actually, people are much better still at identifying patterns and shapes, especially when it's not quite clear if they're one thing or another. And a lot of these programs, people voluntarily sort through these images, and as they're sorting them, they're actually teaching the computer algorithms how to sort things better. So you might do yourself out of a job eventually. Another way that people are getting involved with citizen science at the moment is transcribing historical data. So you might be able to help out with transcribing records from scientists that did work years ago that perhaps is just collected in books. And if anything happened to those books, the data would be lost. Or maybe records from a ship captain that sailed around the world. You could help with transcribing this information, their sightings, the places that they went, the weather, and all of this data could be made searchable and usable for people, scientists and policymakers around the world. So let's get started. Let's have a little look online and see how we can get involved with citizen science from the comfort of our own home. There are different citizen science portals that you can get involved with. So for example, here's one, SciStarter. This has a whole load of different projects listed on it. You can find out about them. Solar Storm Watch, Did You See a Banded Bird? Lots of different projects you can have a look at and you might be able to help out with. Another platform I'm going to have a look at today is called Zooniverse. Here on Zooniverse, you can search through a whole load of different projects. So depending on what you're interested in, you can just have a look. So for example, do you want to look at something about medicine or history or nature, science, anything at all? You can sort through the projects and find something that you think might be interesting. Here's one that is very popular and it's called Penguin Watch. So I'm going to show you about Penguin Watch as the first example. And here's one where you can go online and you can look at pictures of penguins and you can help to count them and to say if there's adult penguins, baby penguins, if there are other things in the picture as well that would possibly be a danger to the penguins. So why would you be counting penguins, you might wonder? Well, scientists are taking photographs of penguins and they're using them to monitor the populations of the penguins. So they can look at these populations year after year or at different times of the season, and they can see, are these populations increasing? Are they decreasing? how they might be affected perhaps by their habitats changing or due to climate change. So you can go online and you can have a look at the pictures and you can help scientists find out how many there might be in any of the different pictures. So let's get started. So here we go, straight away. You can see on the screen there's a picture with loads of penguins on it. All you need to do is to start off with here, they want you to count how many adults there are. So you just click on them and you count all the different adult penguins that you can see. When you have that done and you don't see any chicks or you don't see any eggs or you don't see really any other animals in the back in the picture, you can move on. Then you'll get another picture. Count all those penguins too. Sometimes you might get an image that has maybe some other type of bird or people or some other animal in it, and there's also a way that you can mark those as well. I don't know, maybe you find this relaxing, counting penguins. There's worse things you could do with your time. So let's go on. We've counted all of these birds. Move ahead. Have you marked all the animals? Yes. So there's different tutorials. We won't count any more penguins now. There are all kinds of different projects you can do. This one I was going to show you, but actually they've just closed it. The Costa Seafloor Observatory. This was a really cool one. You can go on and look at videos of different species underwater. Now, it shows that they've actually finished this project for now, but it says here, thanks to all the people that were annotating the different corals and the different things that they were found, they've trained artificial intelligence algorithms that can recognize the species even better. So that's straight away a result from this, that will make their studies even better in future. Some other projects that you might like to look at. Here's one about coastal areas. This one is called Invader ID. So this is about looking at invasive species in different areas. So what they want you to do is go on, see if you can find or identify the different species that you see in the picture. So here, for example, in the little circle, it's just put it on one of the barnacles. So I'm going to go over here, I'm going to click barnacle. They want you to check, is this what it looks like? And you can identify. Done. So you can keep clicking through those different things and letting them know what different species that you see. Another example is this one here, Radio Galaxy LOFAR. So this one is really cool if you are interested in identifying supermassive black holes. Also, if you're interested, you can go onto their pages about publications. So if you're wondering what's happening with all of this information, there's a whole load of publications here. You can go through a lot of these are on space to begin with, because this Project Universe started off as a space one. But actually, if you keep going further on, you'll find ones down here that are related to other things, different projects. Chimpanzee, floating forests, that's about kelp forests. And there's our penguins. And also, if you're interested in finding out a little bit more about these projects, talking to the scientists, finding out how you can get involved more, there's discussion boards here as well. So there's really no excuse not to get involved. Also, maybe you're a scientist and you're working on a project and you would really like to have some help from some citizen scientists out there. So this is a great way to get involved. If you would like to join us for more of our Citizen Science Week activities, on Thursday, we'll be speaking to Dave Wall from the National Biodiversity Data Centre and finding about how you can help with collecting data about the biodiversity in your locality. So be sure to tune in 7 o'clock on Thursday, 5th of November. Hope to see you there.